So Cancers, this is a big month of understanding where you have overexerted yourself. For some of you, this may be financially, okay? And understanding that you basically own your wealth, own your value, own your worth. And it's in doing so that you can multiply your worth and your wealth. Net worth, I should say. I kind of feel like there's a need to break some spending habits or patterns that you've had in the past. And I think this month you're acknowledging what those patterns are. And I think for some of you, this can be, I'll be honest, out of mere boredom. Needing to spend out of boredom or feeling like there's some type of inadequacy, therefore I'm needing to spend more to meet some type of expectation, even if it's your own, like if it's like for instance, let's say you spend so much on getting your hair done, or you spend so much on clothing or going out because you want to seem like your status quo, but understanding and realizing that that's not getting you ultimately what you want and what you desire to have. I think the first half of November is going to be much more challenging than the second half, though. I think the second half of November, something happens where money is multiplied. So it can be through your own efforts, you're gaining. I kind of feel like you've been waiting for something to come in financially. I don't know if you've been waiting for a promotion or you've been waiting for a raise. You've been waiting for some type of money, and it's finally coming in. But the first half of November is kind of rocky. And then the second half, it's like, okay, I'm safe, I'm good, we're in a good place. There's something here about needing to relax when it comes to money, needing to not be so worried. I also feel like there's more opportunities than you realize, or there's going to be more opportunities than you realize in the month of November. So keep an eye out for that. Let me see here. Let me just look over the cards for a minute. For some of you, there may be a need to spend a large portion, but this is for those of you who have a good, I want to say a good nest egg already saved. It's not taking your entire savings, but it's taking about, I want to say 80% of it. But what it is I feel like there's something you're doing with an earth sign, so Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, and it's requiring a large chunk of change. Now, it may be in the beginning of the month, you may not like the idea, you may be apprehensive, you may feel as though that's not something you want to do, but I think by the end of November, it's something you do. You actually do it. So there may have been a situation because we have joyfulness, misfortune, and then servant. So I feel like there was a situation here where maybe things were going well, and then we have a situation where, something happened. Maybe, yeah, I'm just feeling like things are going well financially, but something's happening with an earth sign. They're needing your help. They're needing your help financially. And this is for those of you, again, you already have the money to give. For those of you who this isn't the situation, I kind of feel like maybe you're on the receiving end of that, where things have been a struggle, things have been hard, but somebody's stepping in to help you. And it's really helping you put you back on the right financial track. Afterwards, you're looking at it and you're reviewing this person's help. You're thankful for it, but you're also acknowledging your own mistakes and how you invested in the past, and understanding that this cannot be repeated. You need to do things differently than you have before. I want to look at the Death card, because ultimately that's the transformation. Major transformation in finances, I think for the positive, for most of you. Yeah, healing money, healing money. Soldier, you're marching on, you're able to overcome the financial challenges you've been facing. Somebody's coming in to help you. For some of you, I gotta say, because I have the Doctor here, and the King of Pentacles is maybe a banker. So you may be dealing with a financial institution where you're getting some funds that is helping you to get out of a situation, a financial situation. If this earth sign isn't somebody that you know of or are aware of, it can be somebody like that. I want to look at the Four of Swords here. For some of you, I want to say this is a father figure even, that you may be borrowing money from, or an older gentleman, or somebody who's just well established. Again, I see banker with the Lord card, helping you get out of a very troubling situation, financial situation where you feel very weak. And the Priest card is have faith, but also know that you can stand on your own 2 feet. Things happen to everyone. Everybody goes through trials. Everybody goes through hardships. You're not alone. And it's okay to ask others for help. But whatever this help is, it's helping you regain your sense of self-confidence in standing on your own. But also have faith. Have faith that this can happen. This will come through. And you'll come through this. Let me look at the King of Pentacles. Room, pleasure seekers, and foes. So I just think there's some folly with pleasure seekers here. When I say that, I mean behavior that's been very troublesome for you. Your own behavior. Maybe you've been reckless with money, and you've been acting as your own worst enemy. Now, the Room card talks about secrets. It talks about things that we're unaware of. It talks about hidden hope. And ultimately, what your goal is you want to be this King of Pentacles. You want to be financially stable and financially grounded. That's your ultimate hope and goal. But there needs to be an awareness that the way that maybe you're spending, or the way, even for some of you, this may be like, needing to do like more work or find other employment where you're gaining more money. But your actions haven't led you thus far down the right direction, because it's kind of like you've been working against your own interests when it comes to spending. So it's been dealing with this institution or this earth sign that we gain this sense of financial independence once more. And we have housewife and frivolity on this. So I feel like it's regaining a sense of happiness in our home, a sense of security in ourselves, feeling that sense of strength, financial strength. So, yeah, that's the general reading I have for you guys for this month. Let me go ahead and look at what's going on regarding love. Let's see. Now, for my singles, it's really interesting because we have the Queen of Wands and the King of Pentacles. But between these two individuals, there's a lack of love or a lack of commitment. Now, you could be either or, but I'm feeling more that you're the Queen of Wands. How interesting, because with the last reading we just did, I kind of feel like this ties in a little bit. And it may do that for some of you, not all of you, but for those where that applies, it may be a partner or an ex-partner that you have to reach out to for financial assistance in some way. Maybe they owe you something. How interesting. But you're going and seeking justice for this. You're getting that justice. You're getting that money. You're getting that victory. I know that's not very love related, but I had to put that in there because it ties in very much so to the last reading. Certainly have the self-confidence to go after that, because if that's your situation, and you need to get something financially clarified with this earth sign, I would certainly go, and even if it has to go in like a legal situation. I mean, I don't like to give legal advice at all, but I'm just saying, I see justice here. It can be that you're seeking legal advice regarding this and understanding that, look, you have a real opportunity to get what was owed to you to begin with. Anyway, besides that, I'm not telling anybody to, sue anybody or anything, but what I am saying is I just see you wanting to get what's yours and what's owed to you, and I see you doing that and being successful doing that. And for some of you, that may be through legal proceedings. But back to love, it can be also that you may have had a relationship with someone that was a fire sign, so a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, or Earth, again, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And that relationship didn't quite work out in the past. There was somebody doing all the giving, somebody doing all the taking, and it was imbalanced. One of you brought stability to the relationship, and the other brought fire and passion to the relationship. But together, it just didn't mix. I think there's an opportunity here with this person to reevaluate what was and realize that both of you have equal parts in the failure of that relationship. And when you come to that understanding that, it's give and take, and it's, there's two sides to every coin kind of situation, I think it really gives you an opportunity to begin something new and something very substantial with this person. I think you both are understanding one another and also forgiving one another by also accepting blame for your part in the failure of whatever this relationship was. So we have Lord, Conversation, and Misfortune, which is like the Tower and the Rider-Waite. I'm sensing somebody was greedy in the relationship, and when you revisit this with this person, there's certainly some serious conversation, because usually this conversation card comes up when we have some serious conversations take place. There's a serious conversation between you and this other individual where you have to either own up to that, or that you basically force the other person to own up to it and tell them the disruption and the breakup ultimately was due to a sense of selfishness, a sense of greed, pleasant surprise, a letter, and child. So on this on the Ace of Pentacles is like, look, it's a pleasant surprise the way these events turn about. And there's some positive communication that leads to something new and something very substantial. Long-term future. Yeah. I got it when I saw these cards. Consistency, pleasure seekers, and money. On the Ace of Swords here, the one message I got was, put your money where your mouth is. It's like, if you really want to invest in something, if you really want to do this, then let's see it. And I think this person's going to prove that to you. There's certainly consistency in this relationship. There's a strong connection, and again, there's an owning of the wrongdoing, which builds a stronger foundation for you to now build upon. You're starting new on the foundation here with this person from the past. I think it's from the past. Doesn't have to necessarily be somebody that you had a romantic relationship with, but it's someone you certainly have a strong relationship with nonetheless. It just, emotionally, it's been lacking, or it was lacking in the past. Somebody was doing all the giving, all the chasing, It wasn't going anywhere. It's going to go somewhere now, I think, in the month of November. Yeah. So I think that's all I'm going to draw on that. Let me go ahead and look at what's going on with my couples. Couples have a little bit of a different energy here this month. I don't know if you're the one doing it or if it's your partner, but I feel like there's some deception going on behind your back, or you're doing it behind your partner's back. You have a lot of earth in your reading, a lot of pentacles, a lot of earth. We have the Queen of Pentacles down here, King of Pentacles up here for the singles. So you can be dealing again with an earth sign, or this can be something financially based where maybe a partner is being deceptive with money or you're being deceptive with money. That needing to come to an end this month. And it's coming to an end this month. I think you've been blind to it or your partner's been blind to it. But honestly, it's going to come to, a front. And you're going to have to deal with it. It's so interesting that in both in the singles and the couples, we have the King of Pentacles, we have the Queen of Pentacles. We got the Ace of Pentacles as the outcome card, the Ace of Cups as the outcome card. We have a lot of positive outcomes all around, okay? But it's about owning what's taking place within you and within a relationship and being honest with your partner, or your partner being honest with you. And it's only in that space that we can begin again. I feel like it's not deception in the sense of, cheating or anything like that. And you know what? For some of you this is more like mental games. Somebody playing mental games about ending a relationship over something. I almost feel like somebody in this relationship wants a commitment, but then somebody's playing a game of, well, I'll end this relationship. It's emotional manipulation and abuse. Trying to control you through the outcome of what the relationship is. That's very toxic, and that's a relationship that's not worth being in.